A warning, brave adventurer. This episode of Echoes of Honor may contain adult language or adult themes. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everybody, hello. Welcome back to the Lost Archives. It is wonderful to see your gorgeous faces. We are here, we are playing the premier Cosmere RPG campaign, Echoes of Honor, set in the world of the Stormlight Archive. We are very excited to be joining you once again. Super quick announcements before we begin. Goodness me. Subnautica 2 is out in early access. It has sold over, I think, like 2 million copies. So the developers are getting their $250 million payout from Krafton. Excellent. Krafton, go fuck yourselves. That's fantastic. I'm very excited to see that development. It is brilliant. I thoroughly recommend you go and check out Subnautica 2. If you're a big fan of Subnautica 1, you will really enjoy Subnautica 2. It takes the best aspects of what made the first game so great, the few things that I would be very positive of in Below Zero, and meshes them together for the perfect blend of really deep story, but told through environmental storytelling, not by slapping you round the face with it repeatedly with a penguin, which is how Below Zero kind of decides to do its narrative telling. Am I the only one who's dived in yet? Has anyone else had a bit of a chance? I know, Ash, you were watching the episode I chucked up on Sunday. Nice plug. I'll just jump in right there. Matt, I know you're a Subnautica fan. Have you had a chance to play it yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay, fair enough.
By all accounts, it seems very good.
I can report I have now recorded 3 episodes and played about 3.5 hours. It is very good. It is exceptional. And for early access, pretty insane levels of polish for the sections that they've done. Like pretty impressive levels of polish. I've actually not encountered any game-breaking bugs. I've encountered 2 very funny bugs. One in which where a creature went to attack me and got stuck inside a piece of coral that was hollow. That was quite entertaining, watching it get caught inside the coral. I did enjoy that. And then another one where I dropped an item that had a bit of extra collision than I think they were expecting, and it was bouncing around inside my base, and it was very hard to catch. But I did eventually catch it, and there were no detrimental effects for my base, which was quite nice. But no, I really recommend it. I've been really enjoying Subnautica 2. If you're wanting to check it out, great news. I'll be having episodes come out every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for the next couple of weeks until I finish everything there is to see in the early access build as it stands. And I'll be doing regular update videos showing off all the changes as they are introduced and as they're brought out. So stay tuned for that. It'll be lots and lots of fun. And I think that'll tide us over beautifully until Black Flag comes out and I can enjoy that again, which I'm very excited. Awesome. All right. I don't think I've got anything else fun to share before we dive on in. Any other fun announcements before we start? Oh, there is a Cosmere announcement. Sanderson is going to be writing the first season of the Stormlight Archive TV series that is being adapted. It sounds like it's also being adapted by Apple from the sounds of things, which is actually kind of cool because I quite like how they've handled a lot of other adaptations, especially Murderbot, which I'm a big fan of the books. I was really pleased with how they handled the TV adaptation of that. Thoroughly recommended if you've not seen that. I think it's actually one of the same producers of Murderbot is going to be working on Mistborn. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to get a bit of a vibe.
They share that in common.
Perfect. If you want to get a bit of a vibe for the level of quality and the accuracy and the I guess like the degree of honoring the source material adaptation that you'll see, read the first Murderbot book and watch the first season of Murderbot and you'll be very impressed, I think, because it's pretty much 1-to-1. And the very few changes they make are all for the better. So I'm really excited. I think it's going to be awesome. Cool. And that's my fun Cosmere news. Shall we dive on in with our recap and jump into the session? Awesome sauce. All right, let's do this. Our story has been following the survivors of a brutal attack on a Bethab caravan, heading from Alethkar to the Shattered Plains. Neivien, Rav-eth, Alaran, Ztar, and Hula have found themselves embroiled in the political machinations of the Aelthi from the moment they arrived at the war camps, drawn into investigating a far deeper conspiracy involving a mysterious group of Light Eyes calling themselves the Sons of Honor. Our group have now officially joined the Bethab war camp, Alaran taking on the role of Examiner for the High Prince as part of an alliance to try and uncover information about the link between House Thanadel and the Sons of Honor. With their main lead, the leader of the caravan, now hiding under a false identity in Aladar's war camp, the team have made their way south and now seek this bright lady Ralanat. With their cover for entering the camp reliant on Alaran's ability to pretend he is here to supervise Bethab's archers, surely nothing could go wrong. Heading inside the camp, while Alaran made his way over to check up on the Bethab archers, Rav-eth made his way to a nearby apothecary, able to discover, through extensive bribery, that a recent death matched that of the poison they suspected assassins of using. In addition, a light-eyed woman had purchased black hair dye and drops to darken her eyes from the apothecary only a few days prior. The goods delivered via runner to a tall, bald Aelthi man stationed near the Red Rock Bud gambling den. Meanwhile, Hula found himself embroiled in some family drama. A Horneater woman and her 2 sons seeking their husband/father, who had been known to frequent gambling houses. Keen to help, Hula ended up having a chat with a nearby soldier, Lariel, earning his trust and learning that entry to the Red Rock Bud is exclusive and that they would need to speak to someone called Nell to gain access. Deciding on a different approach to information gathering, Neivien and Ztar made their way to a nearby slave trader, well stocked with parchment and human workers. While Neivien did her best to ignore the Hadazian caller, Ztar learned from the nearby parchment about a recent purchase of parchment Red 3 by a woman matching Ralnat's description. We left off last session with these disparate threads all coming back together, the group rejoining, or some of the group rejoining, with the information that they had gathered. And we're going to dive back in, not with Rav-eth, not with Hula, not with Neivien or Ztar, but with Alaran, who was not with us last week, and therefore, to keep the timeline straight, we need to spend a little bit of time with in this moment. Alaran, after you split from the party, saying that you wanted to briefly check in with the with your contact, do you remember the name of your contact?
Is it High Lord Mintez?
It is High Lord Mintez.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, with you wanting to check in with High Lord Mintez and at least like start the process of this cover story that you've concocted with Pelagan to kind of like inspect the archers for the Bethab High Prince. You make your way immediately through the civilian portion of the war camp over towards the militarized portion, the controlled section, which is very much kind of like very much better guarded, more what's what I'm looking for here? More kind of like segmented and much more familiar with what you'd seen in Bethab's war camp, this kind of more militarized section. But whereas Bethab's is the entire war camp, in Aladar's war camp, it's only a very small section of it, about sort of like 33, maybe 30-40% of the camp divvied up for this kind of military section. As you make your way over to the checkpoint, you watch as a few of the guards kind of notice you, giving you a moment to kind of approach and introduce yourself, not making any effort to kind of like interact with you outside of your initiation. The guard who's kind of like taking the lead on this, an older, I'd say like an older, more tanned Aelthi. Maybe he's got some Makabaki history or Makabaki ancestry as well. Graying hair on the sides of his head, tight sort of curly hair, kind of like shaved and cropped quite close. Standing quite tall even for an Aelthi man as he strides forward, leaning on the gatehouse, the section of the gatehouse, the stone walls rising up, as he gives you a bit of a look up and down. Boy.
Lord Mintez is expecting me today. Alaran Tinalar, examiner for House Bethab.
You are here with the Bethab archers. I think there was word sent ahead to look out for a young prince of Bethab's colors. You are he.
I am, and I just like kind of like tilt the shoulder to showcase the examiner badge / Bethab insignia.
He kind of gives you a bit of a look, not recognizing the glyphs. And you remember in this moment, Alaran, not everyone learns and reads glyphs. It's not a necessarily super common thing. But he watches, he kind of like gives an appraising nod. I have not heard of this examiner for the High Prince role before. Is this new? Is this something Bethab does, or is this something we can expect from Aladar as well?
I can't speak to Aladar. Bethab is making sure that his work with other houses is up to the quality that we expect. So it is good for us here too.
Very fair, very fair. Quick rules while you're in the war camp. Make sure that you listen to any directions given to you by patrols. If you are ordered to stand aside and move, I know you are used to carrying some level of authority, but you are a guest inside this war camp, and while Aladar runs a less rules-oriented setup than you might be used to, if you are given strict instructions, please adhere to them. No fights, no brawling. Please avoid challenging anyone to duels while you're within the confines of the camp. It would be rather awkward. We've put a bit of a pause to dueling in this camp for the time being, but you don't challenge anyone that you come across.
I know why.
You don't know why. There is no reason you would know this information. This is very new. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Just because it, like, in terms of intrigue, that communication then prompts Alaran to, the dueling aspect is something that he has like history with. Your camp. I appreciate that I am a guest here. Do I have any attendance while I am here? I am clearly entering the war camp currently alone. Do I have an escort or anyone to accompany me whilst on military
I can take you to Bright Lord Mintez. After that, it is up to him whether or not he gifts you or grants you any soldiers to show you around. In terms of attendance, people to see to your needs or follow your directions, only those that you bring with you. Do you have... kind of looks around. I'm rather surprised you've come here alone.
Oh, I have some people attending to business in the greater camp. There's a lot of spectacle and wonder in this war camp. So we, while I attend to this, I have some assistance elsewhere. But that's
please,
okay.
When you head in, if you could speak to our scribe and get names, descriptions when they come through. Otherwise, I cannot promise that we could just let them through the gates. You need to give us their details.
That's understood. Yep. How about, like, if anyone arrives using my name, then I come and confirm for them, rather than that.
I would prefer if you have given us some idea of how many people there would be coming through. He's not.
I don't. Yeah.
There you go.
I think Alaran's objective here is, like, he doesn't want to record a whole bunch of, like, here's some people that I work with, but his thinking is.
Oh, I get why. I totally understand.
I don't expect anyone to be able to just walk into your military camp, and none of my attendants will be expecting to either. But if any do arrive, just send someone to come and get me, because I'm likely to go off and encounter other business.
Okay. If that is not too much of an inconvenience for you, we can. I can send a runner to go and check with you. Very well. I'm surprised. This is. Don't take this the wrong way, but the last time we met a princeling, he was very happy for people to wait on him, not the other way around. You would fit in well with Aladar's camp, I think. We're a bit more casual
with
here.
What you have set up here, like, you have a focused war camp. I admire that. The camp is interesting.
That's one word for it. Chaos, hard to guard and patrol is another way to think of it, but my High Prince is a shrewd man. He understands that this place, these shattered plains, we are not going to be moving for a very long time. Why not make a bit of money out of it? And some entertainment for the boys when they are on their downtime. As he gives a bit of a nod to some of the other guards standing behind him.
Very well. Well, let's
Follow
continue
me.
On to see.
I'll take you to High Lord Mintez. Lads, as he looks left and right to the other guards, guard the gate. Anyone who uses this boy's name, Alaran, was it? Examiner Alaran?
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who uses this boy's name, Examiner Alaran, make sure you send a runner to go and find him. Or myself. We will make sure we check these people. Just before you come in. Any other weapons apart from your side sword, my lord?
Oh, I don't think I carry anything else currently.
Very
Pats
good.
himself down. No, it's just a side sword.
And I must ask, just for our own security, are you bonded to Blade?
What do you mean?
Do you carry a shard blade, my lord?
Oh, no.
Very well. Not meaning to pry, just want to understand the security we need to... Nothing to worry about. Please, follow me. I'll take you to the other Beth archers and High Lord Mintez.
Just on that, like, line of thought, as we walk up, I think Alaran would absent-mindedly be suggesting, like, questioning out that if I had said that I had a shard blade, like, how do you prepare for such a thing? And, like,
do you say that out loud?
I think he thinks it, and then he actually articulates it as an idea of, like, questioning through that process of.
Yeah, you watch as the guardsman kind of pauses for a second and then looks back at you and raises an eyebrow. There is not much one can do to block a blade than without another blade or with plate. We have a few bearers that we can call upon in times of crisis, but it is good to know. And I must confess, I do not know all who carry. Things are chaotic, and plate and blade change hands more often on the Shattered Plains than they did back in our home. All of the light eyes, all of the high princes and their retinue squashed together, closer than they've ever been. It's one of the reasons why we've had to put a temporary hold on dueling in Aladar's camp, just for the next few days.
Yeah, you mentioned that at the gate. I'm curious about, have there been any duels in the camp, or is it dueling that has been the problem, or the shard bearers?
There was an incident a few days ago. It does not involve any of your archers. You may rest easy and report back to your high prince that none of your men were in any danger. There was an incident with one of our shard bearers. Too much wine. Challenged a few people to duels. And it was bloody.
Challenging people without shards?
Yes. Promising to not use his own blade. That they would fight with practice swords with unsharpened steel. Beat the son of one of the other members of Aladar's retinue to death with his blunted practice sword.
This is a member of the house.
Perhaps I would not be in any position to share that information were I to know it.
Oh, I understand, but yes, I imagine that the ban is going to draw attention, and no,
temporary
it's okay.
ban, but yes.
Yes, I understand. That business happens, but obviously Aladar will deal with that in an appropriate fashion. That's I'm sorry to hear about that. That's
Yes, I knew the boy. I had spent some time guarding him and his family when they first arrived on the plains. His father was a gentle man. His son, a very kind boy.
Yes.
Which is the guard full
I think
silence. Yeah.
Doesn't have the words. Yeah.
The rest of your sort of 15-minute walk is done in silence as you pass through the military section of Aladar's war camp, passing by the various barracks, which, unlike Bethab's, are all very full, in fact overflowing with soldiers, compressed as they are in this much smaller space. You can see the soldiers in various states of readiness and, should we say, downtime. R&R. Some of them stretched out, basking in the sun. A few of them drinking, playing games of what looks like some sort of a game of like. It almost looks like sections of Chull chitin that have been carved with various symbols. And you watch as they kind of throw them in the air, and then as they fall and land, they're trying to make shapes with them. It's an interesting game. You've not seen it before. It's a very odd one that you're not familiar with. But before too long, you arrive at the archery grounds. You can see that Aladar has commissioned a very fine archery range here at the back of his war camp. There are what look like sort of like straw or hay targets that have been set up, painted to give scoring. You can see that there are a number of soldiers in Bethab uniform, Alaran. At least 6 of them that you can see pacing up and down, giving directions to Aladar's soldiers who are learning how to use the bows and arrows. With mixed success. There are a few standout archers amongst the group, but for the most part, these are people very unfamiliar with how to use a bow beyond just knock, draw, release. The Bethab soldiers are kind of trying to teach them a bit more of the intricacies of it, how to aim, how to hold, and also like kind of the commands to work as a team. this kind of more complex archery thing where you have like multiple volleys ready to go, 3 teams of people stepping forwards, releasing, and then like basically cycling through. And they're trying to kind of teach this to the Aladar soldiers. Commanding them all is a man standing with his back to you, a beautiful military-style suit, very fashionable Alaran, clearly tailor-made across his body. His muscles kind of bulging, stretching the seams of this tailor-made suit across his shoulders and down his side. You can see a very beautifully made side sword, marked with a symbol of glyphs at his waist. And you can see even from the back what looks like a massive scar stretching across his neck and around part of his shoulders, disappearing below the high collar of his suit. As you step forward, the guard clears his throat and you watch as the man steps around and turns to face you. He's probably in his late 50s from the looks of things. Tall, barrel-chested, powerfully built, with the most horrific scar stretching down across the right-hand side of his face. One of his eyes is completely gone, covered by this patchwork scar of what looks like some sort of, almost like a claw, but with this mottled burn marks around it as well, continues down across his throat and stretches, if I don't punch the microphone, stretches around the other side of his face. Chunks of his chin, skin missing from his chin as well, this brutal scar. And as he turns towards you, you can hear his voice is a raspy, almost harsh, guttural kind of sound. Yes. I have brought the Bethab Examiner, my High Lord Mintez. Good. You, boy. As he gestures towards you. Come. And holds out a hand in greeting.
I think at this meeting, I would like to do a discipline check.
Yeah, go for it.
Because that is probably the scariest introduction that we've heard for a man standing. So, and I think that Alaran is feeling it as he walks up as a person of like...
You've had dreams of being a warrior, of being a man wielding plate and blade, marching into battle. This is kind of the first time you've been confronted with what that might look like on your face and body after years of conflict, perhaps. Yeah, discipline makes sense, for sure.
I think that, like, in the sense of my father's background in like dueling as a shard bearer, that I think that this is a different level of conflict. Like, I've seen a man die. This is the man who kept on surviving like 1,000 torches by the looks of it.
Yeah, it's rough. Whatever he's been through, pretty bad. 14. That's a deduction check, but I'm happy to say that's your... It's okay. What's an 11? What's your discipline plus?
Yeah, it's the same plus, same bonus.
Perfect. 14 it is then with the discipline check. Yeah, you kind of keep it together. Like all these thoughts flash through your mind as you look at him, but you manage to kind of keep yourself in this sort of steady, focused state as you reach forward and clasp his hand in return. His grip is strong but warm as he shakes your hand, doing kind of like a forearm grasp rather than just like a prissy handshake. There's a man who shake hands like a man. He gives you a bit of a nod and goes, "Examiner to the High Prince. Not a title I've heard before. Was surprised.
New appointment.
You are young for such an appointment."
Yes. I think Bethab wanted to make good use of me now that I have arrived out on the plains.
Good. You have hands of scholar.
No.
It is no insult, boy.
Oh.
It is observation.
Yeah. Yes, High Lord. I'm here to... How are the men going?
Your men, Bethab soldiers, working well, sometimes impatient, but given how useless my Kremlings are, I have no complaints.
Okay. So, well-trained Bethab archers. Are they working well in the teaching? Are they sufficient with their existing knowledge? Like, have you found them useful yet?
Some of my lads hit the target, so sure.
Okay. And I guess a good question to ask is, apart from them keeping people alive, is there a particular goal or objective with the training of the archers?
Gives you a really confused look, Alaran, as if like, why are you asking these questions? Like, what genuinely, what's the point of this? He like really pauses for a moment as he looks you up and down and doesn't speak.
The examiner's position is to investigate the operations of these partnerships and ensure that they are efficient and effective. That
you
values
here for my men or yours?
One and the same. There's no point in you honoring the deal of trade if you aren't having results from the men that we supply. And if
Your men, then.
Yeah, but their job is to train your men. So, and that's important too. They could be allocated elsewhere more effectively. But if they are effective in their training of more men here and protecting life at the camp, then I think that relations between Aladar will see the value in that.
I'm not a politician, boy. I don't care between deals of high princes. Your Bethab soldiers, your archers are doing a good thing. Teaching my men how to shoot properly.
As he calls out a little bit louder, you watch as some of the House Aladar soldiers straighten up a little bit, focus that a little bit more as they feel their High Prince's attention once again on them and not fully on you. As he turns back towards you, you watch as he shrugs.
Speak to the men if you must. Frankly, I find this examiner business confusing. I don't get the point. You've done your side of the deal. Aladar's doing his.
Oh, very well. Lord Mintez, I understand. It's not something that you should need to worry about. I'll carry on.
I'm not worried.
As he looks at you very calmly.
Very good. Well, I don't want to take any of your time. All I would ask that is, while I conduct inquiries, that maybe one of your men, maybe the gentleman that brought me here, is available to just be my escort through camp for any concerns, or also so that I am supervised while I am here as a guest.
Do you need supervision, boy? Is your purpose here not what you've stated?
No. Well, actually, yes, that is partially true. Yes, there is other business that I am trying to investigate while I am here. Not
your men
against
or mine?
I think neither. And I think it makes a little bit of sense now that I've seen the camp structure. But I think that this is a private conversation.
Very well. Follow me then, boy.
With that, he turns and leads you away. As you walk away from the Bethab archers, you watch as a few of them kind of look up, confused to see another Bethab uniform, and then just watch you turn and walk away with this High Lord Mintez. And yeah, there's a bit of look of confusion on their faces as you just wander off with this scarred man, who they've known as like the leader of their little contingency for some time here. He leads you around sort of a very short stone wall that's clearly been soul cast, Alaran, to what looks like a small side building that's kind of been constructed partway into the wall of the chasm, partway into the wall of the crater. As he leads you inside, you realize this is probably his office. There's really not much in here, certainly no books or papers. There's no scribe here either. There's signs that there has been a scribe here previously, a few ink stains on the wood, a few sort of bits of paper tucked away into the side corner, but otherwise it's a very sparse, underused office. You watch as he kind of sits down on the edge of a desk. There's no chairs in here. Sits on the edge of the desk, stretches a little bit, and then nods to you.
Go ahead. Speak.
So I did need to come and fulfill this responsibility by making sure that the arrangement was all clear and good, and that is fine. You seem to be happy with the men, and I will, gather some information from both the Bethab trainers as well as your archers in training, just to gather some insights as to how that is going. Feed that information back to Bethab. Like you said, scholar stuff, not very important. But I am also following a lead for someone who may be in your camp, hiding out, and they are not a member of your camp. I have some associates who are assisting with this, and they are currently in the general populace area, trying to find or uncover information about this person. They are hiding under a false pretense.
Criminal?
Possibly, but they're definitely in hiding. They were involved with the incident from a couple of weeks ago with the caravan attacks. Are you familiar with the incident?
Yes.
Sir?
Surprised you're discussing it. Bit embarrassing for old Bethab, is it not?
Yes. I was on that caravan, and so I have a personal stake in
He nods, looks you up and
uncovering
down.
that information.
Heard it was a bloodbath. Maybe not such a scholar's hands after all.
No, it was a bloodbath.
I hid under the caravan, pissing myself.
I think right then in that moment, there is a moment where Alaran freezes, thinking of bodies lying on the ground in that valley and hearing screams of people dying, and it just locks in for a minute before Mintez's presence probably breaks him back out of it. Yes. One of the bright ladies who was escorting that caravan left around the time / slightly before the incident and has been missing.
You think she's involved? Convenient timing.
I think she's either involved or potentially at risk of something else. She is currently hiding in the camp, as someone has communicated to me via contact.
You trust this person?
I don't know them at all, but they've given us a lead to come and look for them in this camp. And unless that is a misdirect for some other reason, I think it would be worth finding someone who is pretending to be someone else in your camp, because either they have information that is needed, or they are potentially at risk of being harmed. And I'm communicating this to you because this is your camp and I am out of my jurisdiction, and this is not happening in your military zone. But if there was to be incidents in the greater market, I know that is a place of chaos, but I would like to communicate honestly with you.
Could you make me a persuasion or leadership test, Alaran? Your choice.
I think I'm going to go for leadership with this.
Yeah. I think that's fair. You were showing a lot of leadership in this moment. I think so. Perfect sense. I believe 11. You watch as he kind of pauses for a moment, looks up and down.
Give me more details about this woman. My soldiers will look into it and find her. There's no reason for you to be here or involved in this search for Bethab. I'll let you know when we've found her. If we find her.
I understand that. I respect that. If I'm worried that her being found by you, I know she's in your camp, but I'm worried that you finding her does not give you what you think you would gain from it. But it is very valuable that we find her. I'm bringing this to you in good faith because it is. I would not want you in our camp running a secret operation, and I'm communicating with you as honestly as I can. I don't think that investigating and finding her with soldiers is the path forward. But I am communicating this because I do not want it to result in soldiers and swords.
You saying we're not subtle, boy? That we can't conduct an investigation without stomping around, making a lot of noise?
That is what I am saying. I think that is my impression of how that would go. You said I have a scholar's hands. They're not a scholar's hands.
What are they?
They're the hands in the middle. They're the quiet, softer hands that can get in and get things done. That don't cause the camp to look like a sense of chaos when things need to happen. It would be quiet. It would not look poorly on the camp.
So you're telling me you want to conduct an investigation in my camp for a potential criminal? No guards involved, no soldiers involved of this camp. You want to be the one to do this to catch her for yourself. It's about honor, boy.
Yes, it's a part of my appointment. It is about getting answers. And I'm sharing this information with you because I would not want it to reflect badly on you and your duty.
Town's brows, boys, stop using so many words. Is this a matter of honor?
For me?
Yes, obviously for you. I care about your poxy eye, Prince lad.
I think it is. I think that I need to be the one to get the answers. And I worry that every intervention from others, greater forces, take that opportunity away from me.
Then stop talking around it and tell me what you're going to do. This is a matter of your honor, isn't it, boy? What are you gonna do?
I'm going to walk out of this office and I'm going to go down into the market and I'm going to ask some questions and I'm going to find this person. And when I do, they are going to be removed from this camp, hopefully willingly, and they will come back to us to Bethab's camp where they will answer their questions.
And if I tell you no, if I tell you you're going to turn and walk right outside the front gates of this camp and go back to your comfy little spot with Bethab, what would you do?
I would ask you why.
Because I don't want a rogue element operating inside my war camp.
You have a rogue element in here. She's hiding in your camp.
And now we know about her. We'll go find her. You don't need to be involved. What are you going to do about it if I tell you no?
I'm going to recognize that I did the right thing by coming to tell you that of my intentions, and I'm going to thank you for your time today. And I'm going to conduct my other business here in the camp by asking those questions, and then I'm going to leave.
So you're telling me you're gonna do it anyway? I'm gonna tell you no, and you're gonna just do whatever you want. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I've tried
because that would be a really manly thing to do, and I might respect that. That would be something a man chasing honor would say. And if this is about honor, I can close one eye and pretend it's not happening. But if you're just gonna talk around this like a politician, like one of them, then I am gonna tell you no. Do you hear me and understand me, boy?
I hear you, but I think I just need one piece of information to understand you. If you tell me no and I walk out of here, and I have already told you what I intend to do, what does that matter?
He smiles a little bit, the expression looking weird through the scar around his face and mouth and throat. More like a pained grimace than anything else, Alaran.
I'm just trying to figure out if you've got what it takes.
I think Alaran very confidently says yes, but when he says that, he's not thinking about himself. He's thinking about who he has with him.
Could I get you to make a discipline check for me, please, Alaran?
Yeah.
Let's see if the dice agree. Natural 1. Natural 5. Oh no! Total of 8.
You're here officially to speak to the archers, your soldiers, to speak to my soldiers. Officially, that's all you're gonna do. Got it?
Understood.
And if
I
I
appreciate
catch
it.
you conducting an illegal investigation inside the confines of my camp, spying for your Lord Bethab, which is a reasonable explanation for what this is, and you're caught doing that, boy, I'm going to drag you back to your High Prince, myself. Whatever deal we've got going on, our two houses, it'll be done. Am I understood?
Yes, Lord Mentes.
Wonderful. Take your time, speak to any soldiers, and if there's anything that House Aladar can do to help, you'll be sure to let me know.
I appreciate your time today.
With that, he turns and walks through the door. Let's jump over with Ztar and Neivien briefly, and then we'll reconvene with Rav-eth and Hula. Ztar and Neivien, we left off the two of you down near the slave markets, a mixture of parshman and human slaves visible in various pens and cages along this wall of the Aladar war camp. You just passed by a Hadazian man who had called out offering to buy Ztar from you, Neivien, which you very quickly and I would say somewhat convincingly refused such an offer. Ztar and Neivien, I believe you're in discussions about whether or not you wanted to try and disguise Ztar.
I believe we'd already got him in the get-up.
Yep. Put him in the Hessian sack and put the painted glyph for the number 3 in red paint on his shoulder, I believe.
Are you ready for this?
We had two vague plans, and I forget which one we settled on. Because we know Relinat had bought a parshman, and we knew who that parshman was. So option 1 was pretend I had escaped and you were returning him, or option 2 was sell me, and then I forget where we were going with that.
I think we were going option 1 in the end, for you escaped and I'm going to hand you in to get you back across to her, hopefully.
Yeah, alright, cool. So the parchment didn't actually have a name, did it? It was just numbered.
Red
Number
3.
6. Oh, 3.
Red 3 was the one that she had bought.
Red 3.
I shouldn't have told you that. I should have made you go with Red 6. That would have been very funny.
Well, this happened literally seconds ago for our characters.
I know. That's why I was happy to do it.
The next GM.
As we know, DM stands for Dick Man, not Gentleman, which is what GM stands for.
All right. Let's do this, Neivien.
All right.
But just remember, make sure you have my writ and get me out of this. It can be hard once you're in the system to escape.
I'll do my best. I'm trying very hard to make sure that I come back for the right parchment. All right.
Yep.
I'll make it easy for you. I'll be the one that can talk in full sentences
And can fly.
Right.
And can stick you to walls.
And if need be, I can disintegrate people. So keep that in mind.
Don't get me wrong. I will do my best. I don't want to leave you here. I see how you're kind of treated, and I don't agree with that. I'm just saying that you all kind of
Naveen's got parchment friends, right?
The same to me.
All right. Play dumb, I guess. Off we go.
I docilely follow behind Neivien.
Naveen, are you making your way back to the Hadazian man who was calling out to you before, or are you heading upstairs into the main building? Because you've already walked past him. He was on the corner, kind of shouting out, drawing attention to the actual slave pens. But there's an upper building on stilts that leads into...
He seemed more like a spruiker.
Yeah, a spruiker or a caller.
Probably the other building. Let's ditch this guy that's already seen us.
Yeah, fucking oath. Upstairs we go.
That's why I wanted to double check that and just make sure you had your options in front of you. Yeah, perfect. You make your way up the stairs because you already passed him. The stairs are kind of back where the parchment were that Ztar spoke to, just near the pens. So yeah, as you make your way up the stairs and open the door, you can see that inside there are a couple of people kind of milling around. One of them has a parchment, and they're currently exchanging what looks like paper. Probably the wife or scribe of this man is reading through the details of what looks like some sort of contract. You watch as she kind of points to a section, circles it with a small quill before handing it back and go, no, this clause here is unacceptable. It needs to have all of its health checks done. We're not just taking any riffraff off the street. As she looks at the parchment, we don't know where it's been. She hands back the contract, and the man who's sort of helping them, this slightly scrawny Aelthi man, quite pale for an Aelthi, nods and goes, I understand. Look, just let me have a look here, and we'll make some adjustments. It's no dramas. And starts noting down some information before pulling out some more paper, showing off. He's in perfect health. See, look, only 3 previous owners. He's been very good mileage on him. Hands over the conditions of sale and things like that. Unattended though, or I should say, attending to no one at this point. At the back of the room is another Hadazian man. This one looking a bit older, a bit fatter than the one who was outside, but probably related by the looks of him. Same kind of hair color, which is shoulder length and slicked back, oiled back. Crystal nails tapping impatiently on the desk as this man reads through a man reading Neivien. As this man reads through what looks like a few pages of notes, and as you approach, you watch as he looks up, and in one smooth motion waves his hands in greeting, the other hand swiping the pages away under the desk very quickly.
Hello there, love. What can we do for you? What do you need, eh?
I think it might be something of the opposite, actually. I found this one wandering the streets. I'm pretty sure, looking at what it's got on it, is from here, right?
Which he kind of leans over, looks at the arm.
Turn yourself, parchment, quickly now. Left.
I compliantly obey.
Miss, I think you've just done us a great service. Ash's Eyes looks to be one of ours. Red 3. Let me have a look here.
He starts to go through the notes, pulling them up.
Where did you say you found him?
Just wandering around outside. I'm guessing he managed to, I don't know, wander off.
Parchment. Where's your mistress? You were purchased, I remember.
I do not know where she is. I got lost and didn't go back. She did not tell me to come back if I got lost.
Oh, stupid thing.
Slow.
Well,
I tell you what, if you are, I understand you lot seem relatively busy here. If you let me know the address, I'd be more than happy for just a couple of brooms to drop him back to where he came from.
You watch he kind of pauses his search through the papers, looks up and gives you an appraising eye.
Mighty kind of you, miss. What's in it for you? A few brooms,
Couple of
surely.
brooms?
You look like a woman of some means.
I'm in this camp for other reasons, certainly, and my reasons are my own. However, a few extra coins, I lean in close. I got robbed not too long ago. I'm getting hungry. I could go back to Bethab's camp where I've come from to get, some more money, but I'd much rather, if I can just do a quick trade here, get some, money for some food, be on my way. I don't want really this to get out. I'm going to be very badly embarrassed if people find out about this.
You watch as his smile widens as he takes in this information, Neivien.
Well, miss, that's no good. That's no good at all. Let's see what we can do, eh?
Can you make a persuasion check for me, Neivien, or deception check? Your choice.
You bet I can. I'm so good at both.
Are you not that bad, are you?
Oh, no, yeah. We'll try persuasion.
What do you have high?
Not
Perception?
much.
Perception, crafting, deduction. Yep. 12. You watch as he kind of nods, Neivien.
Look, you've done us a good turn here, bringing back this parchment. I wouldn't want to inconvenience you, but your story does make. I'm a bleeding heart, me. Your story makes me feel like an emotion I've not felt in a long time. Empathy. I feel sorry, miss. Here, tell you what.
Reaches down.
We've not got many spheres on us that are easy to just hand over, but I'll tell you what. 3 brooms. Take this little scamp back to his mistress. Here's the address.
He puts down a piece of paper and hands it to you.
I'll give you a discount once you've got your bearings together if you need any packages of your own.
As he looks at Parchment and nods.
Could help make sure you don't get robbed next time. We've got a nice batch of slaves coming in, actually. I know a couple of them are warriors. One of them's he's escaped once or twice before, but I think he'll be, once we've got him properly under control, he'll serve you well.
Look, I thank you for the offer. Slaves, I prefer them docile,
He looks at the parchment and back at you.
More docile than a parchment?
Well, no, that's what I mean. I'd rather a parchment over a slave any day of the week.
Yeah, we'll give you a discount on your next parchment purchase from us.
All right, call it.
I'll remember you, don't worry. I'll remember.
Throw it an extra brome. I got to get lunch, remember?
Oh, you drive a hard bargain. All right, you're doing us a good turn, saving me the embarrassment of being told that I've been providing defective goods.
As he looks the parchment up and down, as he looks the tar up and down.
This one must have been dropped on his head as a wee tyke. Go on. Here's the address. Here's your 4 brooms.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Right, come you.
Follow her.
As he points to Neivien.
I begin following Neivien.
I kind of murmur as we begin to head out. Oh, I'm so sorry for this.
No, it worked very well.
Could I get a perception check, Neivien? And Ztar, why not?
Yeah, I can do that. That's one that I am good at.
I know.
Watch it end up being shit. No, it's not.
18. Come on, man. That's not shit. That's amazing. 18 perception's pretty damn good.
Had to happen eventually off the back of the shit rolls last game.
That's the way it goes sometimes. Neivien, you watch as the Hadazian man, this overweight Hadazian man, takes notes. And you can feel his gaze upon you as he takes these notes.
I don't trust that.
24, Ztar. Fuck me. You catch a glimpse of the notes as you take that extra second to kind of pause as he goes, "Follow the woman." You just sort of pause there and just like look, one of your eyes drifting in, looking as dumb as you fucking can. And you glance down at the paper as he begins to take notes. He is writing a quick... Oh, that's a question. You wouldn't know the woman's script, would you? You would know glyphs.
I think I have equal chance of knowing. I have Aelthi cultural and Tashiki cultural and Lister cultural.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if we can know. Like, that is a missed thing from the character sheet, whether or not you can read.
Yeah, that is. And the problem is it's a very specific Aelthi thing as well, or a Voran thing, I should say, whether or not you can read.
I mean, I see no reason. I think I'd be able to read, if I was able to read glyphs, I'd be able to read chick script. But I mean, I've traveled all over as that backstory thing, but I mean, it was mostly Lethkar based.
I'm going to say you've got enough knowledge that you can pick out a few words from this. It seems that with a 24, it seems that he is writing down a quick description of Neivien, and specifically about her being robbed, and about it being potentially. There's blackmail is then circled. The word blackmail is then circled. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, that's good. He bought the story at least, but we've been taken note of. Your story, I caught a glimpse of his notes. The story seems to have held, but that guy knows who you are, and I suspect he'll probably try and use that story against you.
Yeah, I mean, that was always part of the gamble. If I were to come in here in disguise myself, it might not have had as much clout. He doesn't know my name, though, so that's one thing. I think, actually, this might work. Hold on a minute. As we walk back out,
back in.
Walking... as we walk past the other one who's near the door being a greasy motherfucker, I am just going to loudly, as if I'm talking to Ztar, but able to be overheard, you can call me Lady Narash. Do you understand?
Yes, Lady Narash.
All right. Good. Now follow me.
Yes, Lady Narash.
As you say that and walk past, you watch as the Hadazian man kind of pauses for a second, remembering this, nods, and then leans forward and goes,
Lady, one last chance to buy that parchment off you.
And then he sees the number 3 and goes,
My apologies, miss. Seems you've purchased one of our stock. Trade-in, was it?
Yeah, I needed an upgrade. You see, this one's much better. Look at it.
Oh, only the finest stock with us, my dear. Only the finest stock. You've made a very wise decision picking this stunning specimen of a parchment from our humble establishment.
I've already bought him, man. What do you want?
Nothing, my lady, nothing. Apologies. Fresh parchment, fresh slaves.
He starts calling out to the rest.
Whoa.
And fresh slaves. I mean, let's not get hung up. It's all bad.
We're on a shipment of lovely children who've come in. Small can fit in mines. Don't get too tired.
As he starts calling out to the rest of the market.
Send them into small spaces.
The children yearn for the mines.
Children yearn for the mines? What's that from? I know that. Where's that from?
like 1800s. Children work in coal mines.
I know, but that specific phrase,
all they want to do is mine. The children yearn for the mines.
Children yearn for the mines.
I think
it
it's
is
a
true.
Reddit meme.
Yeah,
It's a Reddit meme. Yeah.
It really stands out. The children do yearn for the mines. Neivien or Lady Noresh, as you walk past with your newly purchased, your upgraded model of parchment, only the finest from Humboldt's Slave Emporium. As you make your way back towards the others, you see Rav-eth and Hula emerging. Rav-eth from the apothecary, Hula from having a lovely catch-up. Big smile on his face as he tromps back over to you. Hula having done well and truly his good deed for the day. And as the four of you reconvene, sorry, I didn't count Neivien as a person for that one. As the four of you reconvene, I hand over to all of you. If you want to just say, we share everything we've learned, that speeds up a lot of time. You're welcome to do that.
I am surprisingly unpurchased.
Yeah.
I basically, I say everything that happened last week.
Neivien, clutched in your hands, you have written in the women's script, in Aelthi women's script, a name, an address, and a description.
Hell yeah. I also, we've got this, which is great, and we should head there as soon as possible.
I assume the description does match, right?
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. I
do double check that.
Neivien, as you read over it, the name is Jeora, Jeora. I'll type it in chat too. That seems to be the pseudonym or the name of the person who purchased Red 3. It's got at the top the glyph Red and 3 together for the parchment, and then it's got Jeora, dark-haired Aelthi woman, and then it's got in brackets 40 to 50 ? They've done their best to kind of take a little description.
Right.
And then underneath, it's given an address, which is basically like it's not like street names and street numbers. It's like 3 down. 4th Street, like Crater Edge, which you can kind of figure out from what that is as you head north.
Okay. It honestly, it looks like it might be there.
I mean, you did just say you caught the Hadazian writing blackmail down. Are you sure that this address is legit?
No, but we're not going to know unless we get there. And he seems to be the sort of person who deals in flesh and secrets.
Oh, lovely. Just what I love.
So
probably secret flesh
think,
too.
I think
slaves.
Get your slaves.
Fresh slaves.
I must say,
Big ones, small ones, fat ones, thin ones. Best slaves. Sorry, carry on.
I do feel like I need a storming bath after that.
Yeah.
If we get the chance, and we might not because I understand it's going to cause all number of upset. I would very much like to burn that place down.
Look, I don't mean to shatter your little worldview, but there's one of those in probably every one of these camps and several in every major Aelthi city. You are aware I was in the slave wagon when we first met, right?
Look, yes, I understand, and I understand the utility of your people, but I don't think they should be treated like that.
Bro, your people are such good tools.
I believe
If you
that's
didn't want to be
maybe-
slaves, stop being so useful as slaves.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. The parchment yearn for the slave collar.
They yearn for the chains.
They yearn for the chains.
Wow.
They don't deserve
The title of the
to be treated
episode.
like-
What were you wearing? Equivalent.
Yeah. It's hard to take you seriously. It's hard to think of you as a person when you're wearing those chains.
I would utility really. Anyway, it doesn't matter. No, I agree. I would like to have the all of the Parshendi and also all of the slaves, preferably out of the quarters when we set it alight. I wouldn't want them to go up in flames. That would be wise. But I think Ztar is right. I've been to a few of the cities around Roshar, and this is a fairly common occurrence, I'm afraid.
Yeah, we'd need massive systemic change in Aelthi society to have any real impact. It just like those guys are actually relatively like not sleazy as far as slavers go. They were pretty good.
Like, just, you know, you don't kick your favorite dog, right? Yeah.
But you do dig your favorite hole.
Your people shouldn't be treated like that. It's not right.
No, but it is very Aelthi.
It is.
It's all right. Don't worry, Ztar. A storm's coming, an everlasting storm. Don't you worry. An everstorm, they might call it.
It's gonna be the best storm.
The best storm. It's gonna last 1,000 lifetimes. It's gonna blow the other way. Never been a storm like it. Is that how the Stormfather sounds in this? Is that we're gonna go? Child of honor.
You ride the winds, child of honor. Those days are done.
I have to do your backwards. Gonna mess up Shinova. Gonna be great. In a single night, you ever gonna wipe out the entire civilization.
You're not treating the ancient daughter with respect. You gotta grab her by the cognitive rod.
Carry on.
Grab her by the inhale bond, Callan.
Okay.
I do think that visiting this address would be wise, although I don't trust the source given by this Hadazu that described. But should we wait for Alaran? He might have some extra information.
Possibly, but I mean, while I'm in this disguise, I could probably very well just walk into the address. Like if we scope it out and just check that her parchment's not on the premises, I could probably just walk on in.
There is also there was an intermediary. An intermediary. There was a man that accepted the supplies. I don't know if there's a particular another person involved in all this, but something to keep an eye out for. We're going
tall
to
man, so not intermediary, interlargerary.
Interlargerary,
or we just wait for Alaran, our fearless leader, and then we just storm the gates, give her the Herdasian marriage sack, and cut her out.
No, nothing. Well, I mean, we could always just go to the address, suss it out a little bit, see if we can find.
We'll scope it out, reconvene with Alaran, formulate a plan.
Don't see a problem with that.
I think that makes a lot of sense. At least, we need to work out if we got the right address before we just storm in there.
True. Yeah, true. It would be quite embarrassing to sack a random Aelthi light eyes woman.
Yes.
Oh no! What a shame. Says Ztar. Oh, the humanity. Perfect. Well, as the four of you begin to make your way up through the outer edges of the crater towards the northern streets of Aladar's war camp, Alaran, just want to confirm with you, are you doing a quick assessment of the soldiers? I know you're having a quick bite to eat, so I'll talk a bit more to cover for you. Are you going to do a quick assessment of the soldiers, check in with the Bethab soldiers? If so, could I please get a leadership test from you?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to spend time on this unless you'd really like to, but if you want to just genuinely give it your best job to do this actual task, which you don't need to do, and you know is just a cover to get you in the gates, if you want to actually do this task, or at least do a good job of this task, to try and win a bit of respect from Mintez, or from Bethab, or from the Bethab soldiers, leadership test would be great, thank you.
Yeah.
And if you want to roll a deduction check as well, or insight as well.
I'll roll leadership.
Yep.
To begin with.
16. And then can I also please get a deduction or insight check, your choice?
Yes.
Just keep it easy.
I'm thinking that with the... Ooh.
Okay.
I was going to say with the insight, my first thought was that I'm really checking that they're taking care of the Bethab trainers well, and I'm clearly missing the mark with whatever I do get.
Sorry, two little paws started poking at my shoulder, asking if he could come up for a snuggle. So Teddy's up on top now. He looks so much like Poppy. When you sent that photo before, Matt, I was like,
"Oh yeah,
how do you have my dog? How did you do this?" Yeah, Alaran, that's a natural 1 for the insight check. 16 for the leadership's really good. I mean, Alaran, as you stride around, the Bethab soldiers fall into line immediately, saluting you, despite their kind of look of confusion as they look you up and down. But they show you respect. Earned respect? Hard to say, but at least respect for the uniform, for the position that you hold, for the fact that you're clearly a light-eyed princeling in Bethab's favor, given your appointment to this role. They're also keen to impress their high prince. They're not going to muck up and do anything wrong. Natural 1 on the insight. Alaran, it's all going perfectly. There is nothing here that you need to be even slightly concerned about. Your mind very quickly wanders away from the inane affirmations of these soldiers. You're focused on finding Ralanat. That's the main reason you're here. There's nothing else you need to worry about. It's all going swimmingly. It's perfect. You can walk away knowing you've done a good job here.
I hate that.
What do you mean? What do you mean? That's great. You've done it. This is perfect.
Alaran feels good. Ash does not feel good.
Yeah, no, this is fantastic. And it's really only as you are making your way outside the front gate that you hear that voice once again. As you glance towards your left, climbing up the side of a slightly broken wall, you can see these vines, gnarled, brown, with almost like thorns of crystal growing out of them, as it grows up the side of the wall, forming a face. A long, droopy moustache made of, like grandfather's whiskers, those kind of like really thin, wispy air plants, the sort of like thin, wispy, almost like a lichen. Droopy moustache made of this lichen. Crystalline eyes stares at you as the spren that you've seen before, voice graveling and grating as he turns to you.
Lad, you think you've done a good job in there? You look the part. What did you notice with the soldiers?
Mintez is huge. The Bethab soldiers, they're going really well, and Aladar's men aren't particularly great. Mintez isn't too impressed by them, but I think that the trainers seem like they're pretty happy, despite the fact that they're not being very effective in their training of the soldiers.
You didn't have any other concerns, lad? From what they were saying, your own soldiers, your men. They may as well be under your command. You didn't. There was nothing they said that concerned you.
To be honest, I think it was the first time I was not feeling concerned since I've walked into the camp, so...
You're in a war, boy. You should always be concerned.
Okay, well, now I am concerned, but I don't know what I need to be concerned by. I'm concerned that I'm talking to out in public and trying to be discreet, but...
Humans hear and see what they want to see, lad. We're fine. Just sit down. Put your head against the wall as if you're taking a wee break, okay?
Yeah, okay. I kind of like sit down to hide my like posture and head that I'm kind of like doing a bit of a stretch or something like that and leaning up
soldier.
against.
I can't tell you what's wrong. I don't know the words that humans were saying. There's a sense. I've been on battlefields before, boy. I can tell you when things aren't right. Your soldiers, your men. Something was bothering them. A good commander would go and find out what that is. Doesn't need to be now. But you can't leave your men in there. They were scared, lad. Even I could sense that.
I think connecting to like this camp and thinking what's threatening, I'm like, Mintez felt very direct and like ominous, but the first
ominous
thing...
They're pretty spot on descriptions of Mintez. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to add that to the character notes. That's pretty bang on, actually. For a natural 1 in insight, that was pretty insightful.
Hey, that was just the insight for my own soldiers. I was successfully inciting him through his intimidation to like know what to fear from Mintez. I think that Alaran's thought just drifts to the conversation about this shard bearer that like kind of lost his stuff here, thinking about how he should be above that, and thinking about like shard bearers and dueling practice, and how even with a shard bearer not having his shards on him, if that's the way he's conducting himself with a non-sharded blade, that is not the honorable practice. That is what like dueling is all about. And so like that's the fear that Alaran feels as he reluctantly moves on back down to the party, knowing that he definitely has unfinished business here that he should engage with.
Perfect. Alaran, you're actually not too far behind the others. There are 2 entryways into the military section of Aladar's camp because it's located on that sort of western edge. You entered in the southern section, which is where you and your... Sorry, the northern section, southern section, which is where you and your friends entered in the southeastern section. You were sort of taken up towards the north. As you pop out at the gates, it doesn't take you too long to spot the others just walking down the main road as they make their way towards the north. And, I mean, you guys do stand out a bit. It doesn't take you too long to spot them. As you wander on up towards them, you can see Neivien is in front, looking down at a piece of paper in her hands, occasionally kind of glancing up. Looks like she's counting along the walls. At this point, Hula, what would it be fair to say you're doing at this point?
Are we going to the camp or to the tavern?
You guys are heading up north, which is where the tavern is, and also incidentally where this address is. It's not too far away from the Red Rock Bar.
Yeah. And we did the whole share everything regarding...
Unless there's anything you didn't want to share, then yes. I'm assuming you guys, whenever you guys meet up after being split up, I'm going to assume you share everything unless you tell me otherwise.
Yeah.
Sorry, or unless it's Neivien, at which point then it's probably fair to say she keeps most of it to herself.
Well, yeah, I would probably be reiterating that the tavern has a bit of horny to ale waiting for me.
Yeah, a bit of horny to white. Perfect.
Yep, just sort of doing that. Really not too much, to be honest.
Fair enough, just keeping an eye out, having a look around.
Yep.
I probably...
Just being the perspective, looking out for any other horn eaters now that I know there's a few of them around. But yeah, not trying to lead or direct in any way in this sense. Just sort of going in that direction towards the tavern and the encampment, or address.
Perfect. Matt, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I probably do, like, wander up to Neivien, and I just sort of look down at the paper and look back up at Neivien. So, are you telling me that this Herdazian fellow, this slave trader, you wrote this out in women's script?
I was a little surprised by that myself, to be honest, but I was kind of already panicking a fair bit with where we were at and what we'd managed to do, so I didn't push it. But yes, he didn't. He seemed to be also reading quite a number of different documents. I don't know. It was odd, but it wasn't quite the most unusual thing in that space that I was dealing with. So I didn't question it. Why do you think? Do you think we should go back?
No, not necessarily. Just rather strange. It's a interesting. I mean, I can understand it, but that's because I've spent a lot of time around books and whatnot. It's important in my line of work. But for this Herdazian fella to have such a broad knowledge of things, it's unusual, unless he's picked it up in a similar way.
I don't disagree with you. I do know, obviously, these slaves, they come from a number of different locations. Perhaps he has slaves who are well read and able to write. Something he's picked up from them, perhaps a slave tutor or something. I don't know.
I mean, a slave tutor. I've heard stranger things. But maybe just a necessity of the trade, maybe.
Look, it's possible, but it is unusual, right?
Yes.
Perhaps something worth circling back around to. I gave a fake name. I'm a little concerned if they do any digging into that, they're going to realize that I'm not that person. So I don't think I can show my face there as me again. But of course, there's everyone else, and Ztar can pull off, well, any of them.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. I think this camp, it's got me on edge a little. I think we just shouldn't overstay our welcome here too much.
There is something. I can't quite put my finger on it. It's such a melting pot here. Having all of this trade, it breeds such a dark undercurrent, doesn't it?
I just feel like we're stepping into something. I mean, all of our situations in the last couple of days have been dangerous, but this feels rather ominous.
I just came here to get a blueprint. It's gone wrong every step of the way. I don't know, Rav-eth. I'm so tired.
Yeah, storms. You are right. Well, hopefully this business will be done sortly and we can head back to House Bethab for a bit of rest, if we can afford that.
A slim hope, right? Let's just try to survive whatever this is and whatever path it leads us down, I guess, because Storms knows where we're going to end up.
I mean, when you do rest, I did pick up some dried coral blend, which will help with the sleeping. You'll feel quite refreshed afterwards. I picked up enough for everyone.
Oh, all right.
Drugs, Neivien.
I don't know. What do you inject it? I don't know what that is.
It's just a powder. We can add it to some water and you can just drink it.
Oh, I wasn't entirely sure where you were going with the powder for a second there. Okay.
Oh, nothing like that. No. Just to help with the sleeping.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Good. That reminds me, actually, speaking of things we have, I'm going to pull out a little track reel.
Oh, yeah.
Has that changed direction at all?
I had another idea. Have we said find reel as an option?
I like that. Let's go there.
We've
been bouncing around with ideas. Let's just settle on one.
Yeah.
Find reel it is.
That popped into my mind at about 2 a.m. this morning when it was raining really heavily. And I woke up and I was like, I've also been reading The Spear That Cuts Through Water. My God, is it a good book? Good recommendation.
I know, right? How well written is it?
Took me a moment to get used to the prose, but it's really good.
I told you, right? Yeah. Once you get through the before part, I'm
in it. It's great. We'll talk about it later. It's so good.
Yeah.
I'm up to the I think I'm up to the last day. They've got one more terror to find. I had a lot of reading last night.
Saw you
and I can read very fast. Yeah, I can read very quickly. Yeah.
Can also
very
That's an entire book in like a day.
That's pretty normal for me. Sorry. This is why I have trouble finding books to read, because I read them very, very fast.
Reading speed. Tell us that. Dick guy. Swinging and reading cock around.
Whoa. When I'm really in a book, I can't not read it that fast. It's really bad. It's really, really bad. Like most flights, I'll smash out a book and be like, oh, great. Well, I'm at the other end now. More books to download. It's really good. Thank you for the recommendation. I'm really enjoying it.
No worries.
We've also had a recommendation from chat for the name, the Fulgriel, which I think is German. Just German. The Fulgriel. That's up to you, Raph. You're in charge. You don't have to go German if you don't want to, because again, I think it is German.
Who doesn't want to go German?
I'm not sure if you saw the Facebook message, but my computer's demanding a mandatory restart for an update, so I'll be back in.
Oh, buddy.
That's rough.
See ya.
Farewell. That's right. I'm going to read all the Chuck Tingle novels now. That is going to be... So as you activate your find reel or your locate reel, I love that Has just like moving his camera around now. She's under the bed. There he goes. Oh, it's a great freeze frame. There he goes. He's gone for real now. As you activate your track reel, your find reel, Neivien, the faintest twitch of movement, and then as you take another step forward, still walking towards your destination, you watch as the gemstone suddenly pulls against the cage, pointing in a direction.
The general direction that we're headed?
Slightly more west than where you're headed currently, but yes, if you were to follow the road around its natural curve, yeah, looks like it.
It's working. It's working. You lot, look. We just can't keep. I think this is all coming together.
I think this is where I'll like walk up to Hula and I'll be like, "Hello, friends." I'm trying to like not draw too much attention to myself being with the party, or like walking directly up to everyone. So I'm just like walking along, kind of semi-distance, as if I'm passing by, and almost like I've finished with the camp. I suspect I'm being followed right now, but I don't have any reason to prove that. But I just thought I would walk adjacent to you. Have you got any information yet?
We do. Probably a lot.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We have an address. We have information about associates. We have knowledge that she's probably purchased a parchment, which is strange, but sure. Now that I think about it, why would someone in hiding purchase a parchment? That's a big paper trail.
Well, I mean, a parchment can go where a normal person cannot a lot of the time, in the same way that a tar is able to slip in certain areas.
She has an associate, this bald fellow that I got from the apothecary. Wouldn't she just send the bald fellow to do the purchasing for her? If she went to all the trouble of organizing the apothecary's runner to go to this associate, why would she herself go to this Herdazian slave trader and do the deal herself?
Interjecting here, Alaran says there's a bald man to Hula. Who's this bald man?
He's the one that's been working with her. She gave him instructions for a handoff, and I'd sort of just be giving a loose recovery there because I wasn't there for Matt's discussion.
Yeah, and then I guess Alaran would like fall in kind of like adjacent to one of the other party members. Hula, thanks, and then move back and
subtly look around, see if anyone's sort of following you.
I would like to do that as well.
Yeah, could I get a perception, or I'm tossing up here. I reckon perception obviously is the main one, and then as a secondary one, if you wanted to pick, I reckon survival could also work here. I would also allow an insight to kind of look at people's movements and their.
Can we all roll that?
Yeah, anyone who wants to.
At this point, like. Obviously, Alaran's kind of whistling.
I'm gonna specifically not, because I think that like me looking if I'm being tailed is
that makes sense.
That's a 5.
You want to give away
from Rory, except that's a recovery roll, my boy. You don't need to roll that.
Yeah, no, I did the wrong one. Sorry.
It's okay.
I just closed it and it just rolled that.
Classic. 18 on the insight, Rav-eth.
21 with the plus, sorry.
Oh, yeah, shit, my bad. 18 is the roll, 21 for the total. Fantastic. Neivien, 14 for the perception check. Very nice. As you focus around and look behind you, not behind you, sorry, I should say. Alaran's keeping his eyes on the road. Hula, 14 for your perception check. Perfect. Hula and Neivien, as the two of you kind of take a quick glance behind Alaran, wanting to make sure he's not being followed. I mean, this section of the Aladar War Camp, it's pretty populous. You're moving through an area that is kind of, open market stalls and what look like sort of narrow shops that have been carved out of the crater rim. You can see people coming and going, all sorts of people. Aelthi, Vedan, Makabaki, a few Shin, a small party of Shin people. They're very wide, childlike eyes catching your gaze as they walk past you. There's a lot of people here. For Neivien and Hula, as the two of you kind of look back, there is a patrol, it looks like, of Aladar's guards. You can see them walking casually, a group of 4 of them. Not the same ones that you chatted with earlier, Hula. This looks like a different group. And you can see they seem to be just patrolling and walking along, not paying any particular attention to anything or anyone. For your insight check of Rav-eth, as Neivien and Hula point out these people behind you, as you have a bit of a glance back and watch, yeah, they're paying a lot of attention to Alaran. Their gaze keeps snapping back to him. And every time you kind of speed up a little bit, their pace increases just enough to keep you guys in focus, to keep you in line of sight. As the road curves following the crater wall around towards the west, yeah, suddenly they're catching up a little bit and then slowing down again. Looking around, you watch as one of them calls out to one of the store owners. They have a bit of a chat. But again, they never really lose sight of Alaran. Not once.
Do they look like... Are they guards or are they just
random... soldiers. Aladar's soldiers. You can see they're dressed in uniform. All of them are carrying side swords. They all seem to be patrolling the market. And you have seen a few patrols as you've walked past. It's not that unusual, but this lot are definitely tailing Alaran. Rav-eth, with your insight check of 21, yeah, you can see that they're following him quite closely.
I kind of shoot a glance at Alaran, you spoke to Lord Mintel. You got the all clear for us to conduct our investigation, I'm assuming?
I let him know both of our businesses in town and stressed that it was important that we conduct it. You keep moving. I'm going to walk off a little bit this way with Hula if I can, and give you guys some space.
Okay.
Hula, if you wouldn't mind.
Yes.
And I start kind of making a adjacent, like a right angle turn and move up one of the avenues to find to pivot so that the party can keep walking without having hopefully intercepted too much of the attention there.
Can I, in an attempt to, rather than just having Hula wander off and it being like he was part of the group and then just left unceremoniously, just make, some level of overture about, oh, all right, bye, we'll see you later. Thank you. Something just vaguely along those lines of
I'm not going to make you roll a performance check for that. You're far enough ahead that they're not. It's fine. You don't have to worry about that. Perfect. Yep, you can absolutely do that. Fantastic. As you split off from the main group, so Rav-eth, Neivien, and Ztar, all 3 of you continuing on. Alaran and Hula, you're both peeling off in opposite directions. Have I got that right?
Oh, I want to go the same way with Hula.
Perfect. The 2 of you peeling off.
I have someone with me, but I didn't want to draw the attention to Neivien.
And Hula probably is the one in the group who stands out the most, given
and because
he's
I've already
7
made
feet.
Direct contact with him. I was I don't want to get anyone else in I've just made contact with them. So
perfect.
I've recognized the damage.
Alaran, as you and Hula peel off from the others, Rav-eth, Neivien, Ztar, the 3 of you continue on, losing very quickly in the crowd those tails that you had picked up. Alaran and Hula, the 2 of you make a beeline for a side street. You can't head onto the crater edge because it's literally the wall of the crater that the camp has been made in, meaning you have to turn left into the camp proper. And as you move onto this side street and begin walking down, you find yourselves very quickly walking between what looks like a series of night houses, so like inns essentially, designed for people to stay the night. This narrow gap between them is an alleyway that probably those who have enjoyed evening's festivities and gone a bit too hard on the sapphire wine come and relieve themselves. The stink of piss is quite strong in this area. The walls are marked and stained, and it is grubby in this narrow corridor. And as you begin to make your way down, it doesn't take too long before the two of you hear the sound of footsteps. And walking past the alleyway, a quick glance down, a little nod from one of the guards as they look down the alleyway before they pass by.
Sorry, Hula. I thought about that as I was approaching you guys, and I realized that I needed to make contact with the group, but I yeah. I'm sorry,
No,
in this alley.
We'd rather not have a tail going where we're going. Less attention, smaller group, the better.
Yeah. I thought it was important that I let Lord Mentes know that we were potentially conducting business in his camp.
Mm.
And he was very keen to point out that if I was caught doing such a thing, he would personally, I think he said carry me back to Betha, but I don't think he meant like, kindly. I think he said drag. He said he's going to drag me. And I don't know if you've seen him, but he's quite a big man.
Yeah. It would be quite the sight to behold.
Yeah.
One low loader being dragged by another all that way.
No, it would be a bad outcome for me.
Right.
Are the two of you just stopped in this alleyway at this point, or are you continuing on?
Just having just stopped there for a piss chat, and then I don't know what to do next.
Well, we saw the guards go past, right? The ones that were...
Yeah, they wandered past, a quick glance down just to check where you were, and then they've moved on from the looks of things. You can't see them or hear them from the narrow view that you have of the main street from this small alleyway.
Well, knowing where we're going, we could go rejoin the main group and sort of try and avoid that particular group of guards.
Okay. It's been kind of stressful. If you don't mind, I might just, while we're here, if you don't mind just posting up so that no one interrupts me, I'm gonna take a leak, and then
Of course.
okay.
I'll watch.
Yeah. Did you say you're gonna watch?
No, I'll keep watch.
Okay. Yeah, that's preferred.
Fucking
Alaran.
Rocky here. I watch you sleep. I watch you piss. Go piss. I watch.
Yeah, ultimate protector. He's making sure that I've got a steady flow.
Hula, in this moment,
Alaran.
you have fulfilled the first, the words of your oath, the first tenets of your oath. You have watched over another in their time of need. If you want to
I
swear
will
the
watch
first-
you pissed.
Yeah, you may swear the first oath. As Alaran, as you turn and face away, looking down the direction that you guys came from, as Alaran lowers his breeches and does a little piss in the street. The sound of footfall from behind you, Alaran, draws your attention as you watch as the guards begin coming down the other end of the alleyway, having just walked around. Meet you coming this way.
Good.
And you watch as they pause for a second, watch you having a piss, and just stop and let you finish before they approach any faster. Just take a moment.
Yeah. A panic pivot occurs as I am trying to turn away in privacy. But then there's no good angle for that. Yep.
As you finish pulling your breeches up, trying to maintain any shred of dignity that you have left, you watch as the guards give you a bit of a nod. One of them kind of cocks his head and goes,
You just taking a piss here in the street, lad.
I'm taking a piss. Oh no, I'm so sorry. It just smells like piss so much. I thought this was the facilities.
It's a wall in public. You're just relieving yourself in public. There are children just down that road there.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I am Alaran Tinala. I am the Bethab examiner, and
that gives you the right to just piss in the street, does it?
No, it does not. I'm sorry.
Sorry, did you have to check that?
No, I was thinking about whether or not that would be fine, but I don't think that is part of the arrangement of
and yet you just did it anyway. Just stood here, relieving yourself on our streets. We try to keep these streets clean. And here you are, pissing all over it, literally. Not even figuratively, literally pissing all over the work we do here.
Okay, I'm going to point out that this street is very pissy already.
Yeah, we just watched you. We just watched you. It was
not all me. this is clearly a place for this. I'm
Not a smile, not a wry flick. You watch as they turn, look at each other and go,
"You're going to have to make this right."
Yes, I will make sure that each time I use the bathroom from now on, it is inside proper facilities.
You're going to have to make this right.
Yes. I will make sure to send a cleaner here and signpost that this alley is not for pissing. I will get I can get a sign made up in the market, and I will send it over and mark up that this is the guards say this is the alley that you are not to piss in.
Matt, could you roll me a d20? Just roll a d20 for me.
Just roll a d20. Roll a d20.
No, I just need Matt to roll one. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Just Matt.
While he's rolling that, where does Ztar's sense of justice land from
public urination? I think if you steal something, you lose a hand. Illegal. If you urinate in public, you gotta lose something else.
I add at least a circumcision.
At least. With a shard blade. You're very precise. Yeah,
well, what would happen? It wouldn't cut off. It'd just be dead.
It'd just go grey.
Oh, that's awful.
You got a great little hat.
Worth considering. Just a flat d20, Matt, from Roll20. I just need to know. I'm rolling a public check for these guards, and I want you to roll it for me if you can.
Public urination check.
Yeah. I believe.
Critical.
You don't want a high roll. You really want a low roll on this one. Let me just put it that way.
I don't know.
I love that.
Either or. It's exciting either way.
Yeah.
One throwaway RP line.
Wow.
But this is what happens if the guards stumble upon someone just pissing in public.
Of all things to do, like
yeah.
It's the piss wall, except if you're Alaran, I guess. Like, fuck Alaran in particular.
Yeah. Light eyes.
Yeah.
Where's your privilege now, bitch? What was that, 20, Matt? I can't see it, sorry.
I love the idea that there's like a piss gauge for most characters, and then when it fills up, they have to find a bathroom.
Yeah, that's going to bring the realism into this.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a 7, which is what you guys wanted. You watch as one of the guards at the back immediately loses it. Tears streaming down his face as he cannot hold it in any longer. Make a sign! Just starts absolutely losing it behind. You watch as the one next to him goes, shut the fuck up. Shut up. As he like elbows him really, really hard. The other guy, it's too late. He's lost it as he's crying. You watch the one in front slowly turn, roll his eyes and go, you're obviously not in trouble for pissing in the piss street. You're fine. We're joking.
Yes. I knew. I thought it was very good.
Yeah, you knew. Yeah. Look, we were keeping an eye on you. We know you saw us. We know your friends have gone on ahead. We just wanted to make it clear that we're not here to... Nintez just asked that we keep an eye on you, make sure you don't get into any trouble, alright? We're not going to cause any trouble for you. He said, just
make sure, and if you get caught, speak to the fop. We're speaking to the fop. You're the fop.
Yeah. What fop?
Don't worry about it. We're here to keep an eye on you, High Prince.
Okay.
Well, not High Prince, but Princeling.
Friend of the Prince.
Sure.
Friend of Prince.
Yeah. Look. Yeah. We're just here to make sure you don't get into any trouble. We're not trying to get in the way. Although if we do see you commit any illegal acts, this doesn't count. It's not. It's people literally piss here every day. I literally pissed here 2 nights ago after I'd filled up on
smell it.
On wine. Yeah.
Not yours specifically, just the street.
Fop, full of piss.
Yeah, that's right. Well done. He's got it. Look at him go. God, it must be great being so high above all of us that you can just nothing goes over your head, Hornito. It just all smacks into your face, right?
No, exactly.
That sounds really rude, but he is very tall.
Yeah. Look, we're not here to cause you trouble. Just want to keep an eye on you, make sure you don't get into any trouble yourself, okay? If you from what Mintez told me, you're potentially trying to track down a criminal. Yep. He said you couldn't handle it by yourself.
He said that.
Yeah. He said you... Yeah. He watches, he kind of falls a bit bashful, realizing maybe that was a bit hurtful for him to share. He kind of brushes it off. Look, it's nothing personal, right? He's a hard man to please. I mean, the best compliment I've ever had from him is that I wasn't slouching too much that day. He's a tough man. We're just here to make sure that if anything goes wrong, we can step in and make sure that our people are safe, and hopefully you and your people don't get into too much trouble as well.
Okay. Yeah. I know I wasn't being subtle when I told Mintez what I was here for, but like part of it is to keep it a little bit quiet.
So you just walk down an alleyway to take a piss then?
So that other people could continue the work without interference.
We won't get in your way. We'll stay back.
Yeah.
Don't try and disappear, or we will have to stay closer.
I won't try and lose you now that I know you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, just stay a bit further back. I'll have someone scream, call for you, and throw a book at you or something if we need some assistance. So
throw a book at us?
Don't worry about it. To get your attention.
Okay. Whatever suits you.
It's a Bethab term. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah. Goes over our heads. We're just simple Aradel guards. Yeah, we wouldn't understand. All right, come on, boys. We'll head back. Give you some space. Get done what you need to get done, and don't cause any trouble, please. For us, for our people. I don't care what you do to criminals, but for us.
Yep. Certainly. Hula, that was really weird. I'm glad you were here for that, because if I was alone when that happened...
It was weird, you're right.
Yeah. I thought they were going to ask me to clean the alleyway.
If they had passed that check, the next thing they were going to do was ask you to clean the alleyway with your jacket. Try and mop it up. They were going to try and push for that if they hadn't rolled really poorly on their...
Alaran is feeling
check.
like bullied like a high school student who is getting like pushed around in the alleyway again.
Yeah, but you also did like just take a piss in here. you did draw this attention on yourself. Perfect. Well, where we will leave off is Alaran and Hula making their way back out of the alleyway. Rav-eth, Ztar, and Neivien, the three of you carrying on. Where we will leave off today is as you round the bend where the road really hits quite a tight corner of the crater. Before you, carved out of the wall, you can see what looks like a double-story alehouse. This one, however, is behind quite a decent-looking wall with what looks like soul-cast metal along the top of the top of the wall. Growing all around it and over the wall are rock buds that have been painted very haphazardly with red paint. And you can see a sign above it portraying "Keep Out, Private Property." However, as you stand there and watch, you see a Macabacian man walk up, lean in and speak to one of the guards, and be allowed entry, passing through as the doors close behind him, as you are pretty certain you've arrived at the Red Rock Bud. And that is where we will leave off for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. It has been a pleasure as always. I want to give a massive shout out to Roll D Dice, who came and raided us. Thank you so much, Raiders. It is always a pleasure having you guys come and join us. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. Probably wouldn't have made a lot of sense without the context of the other 25 episodes, which you can go and see at any time you want to see them. YouTube at The Lost Archives RPG, or listen to any podcast platform of your choice. Just type in The Lost Archives. We should come up pretty much straight away. Otherwise, you can catch us live on Twitch, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Monday nights for Cosmere, Tuesday nights for D&D, our Tales from the Yawning Portal campaign, and Wednesday nights for our homebrew Return of the Giants D&D campaign. Soon to be Mistborn, once the Mistborn source books come out in September. That is scarily close. And I am very, very excited. As we were raided, so we must raid. I will get that raid across right now. Everyone who's watching on Twitch, don't go anywhere. We will go and do that raid. Everybody else, we will see you all again shortly. Make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and leave a comment. All of those things help us out. If you wanted to go check out the Subnautica playthrough, you can go do so as well. That's going to be lots and lots of fun. I think that's all I have to share before we head on over. Thank you so much once again. We will see you all again soon. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and farewell for now. Goodbye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
See you, sexy.